Veliki pozdrav svim gledalcima Sportlajta i Sport kluba. Imamo veliko zadovoljstvo da predstavimo jednog posebnog gosta u našem studiju ovde. Reč je o košarkašu Partizana Zek Ledeju, pa ću odmah preći na engleski da bi mi moj gost razumeo. I said I made this introduction in Serbian and that now I'll transfer to English. But before that, I didn't have time to ask you, do you know some Serbian words? Can you communicate?
Yeah, I was communicating some, but now I lost it. I had to go back to start studying again. But I started studying at the beginning of the season, but the ups and downs, I couldn't really find the time to just stay all the way into it. But it's definitely a challenge I'll try to pick up at some point.
But you know some words. With your teammates from Serbia, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I've been here 3 years, so I know some words to be able to understand, or to be able to talk or whatever, little things though, small things.
Okay, first of all, thank you for coming to this studio. As I understand, this is the first time you're appearing in a TV show in Serbia.
Yeah. I mean, Coach asked me to come. I knew it was a big thing for him, so I just try to just come and just represent for the right ways,
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for finding time. I know that this is an extremely difficult life that an athlete playing EuroLeague, ABA League, and all these leagues has. It's hard to find time even to rest. So I really appreciate that you made a choice to join this show, and not for me, but for our spectators that always ask me, when are you going to call Zek Ledej? So this is like Zek Ledej in the studio now. So maybe we should start with this. How do you live? How do you practice? You play games? How does your life function in the rare free hours that you have?
Oh man, it's a lot of work, a lot of recovery. Taking care of your body. Playing games in the ABA and EuroLeague is different than playing in another league across Europe. The ABA is very physically taxing. You're playing against physically tough guys, so you got to take care of your body, get your recovery, and do what you have to do to come in day to day to get ready for the games, to put out good games, and to go and build toward your goals.
So people here tend to underestimate the ABA league. You said it's also tough physically because they think okay, EuroLeague is the maximum in the quality when you play in Europe, but you're saying that it's also tough to play the ABA league.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physically tough league. The EuroLeague is different. You have the best players in the world. You have skill. You have some guys that are not physical that have a specific skill or something like that. But the ABA is really just about, going out and just playing with will, playing with heart, and doing what you can to help your team to win and get to where you want to get to.
So they're more physical and tough in the ABA than in EuroLeague.
Yeah, I mean, it's different cultures of basketball, I mean, in the Balkans per se, that's really the style, you have tough players, physical players. You have some skilled guys, but when you talk about the ABA league, that's really what it consists of, from what I've seen my past 3 years. And I mean, when you talk about EuroLeague, that's different, but the ABA specifically, that's...
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about your basketball history. Actually, maybe before that, was it always your option, basketball as the sports you'll play, or when you were a kid there were other sports that you enjoyed?
No, my first love was football. I wanted to be a football player.
American football.
Yeah, American football, not soccer. Yeah, NFL, American football. I like to play defense and to tackle people and or when I was on offense, I played tight end and wide receiver. In Texas, football is really, really big. And then I got into basketball as I started to grow and different things like that. And kids around my neighborhood started to pick it up some as a second sport. And then I grew to fall in love with it. So.
And you were born in Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, born and raised in Dallas. I mean, it's the greatest city on earth to me. I try to just, go out and just do what I need to do to represent the right way. So.
Yeah. So when you still live there, when you go back to the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what can you tell us about Dallas? Well, it's famous for this, unfortunately, for the assassination of John Kennedy. in Dallas. But
wow, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. That's like a history. I didn't even think about that. That's interesting. But I mean, we have football, we have the Cowboys. You know, unfortunately, we haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time. But you know, staying with that. Luka Doncic is playing for the Mavericks, you know, doing his thing for the Mavericks. My boy Dante playing for the Mavericks too now.
Yes.
So that's good, you know. So we love sports. We a big city, you know. It's hot, you know. It's a lot to do, and then it's growing year by year. So it's good.
Yes. Do you have a contact with Dante?
Yeah. We stay in contact. We stay in contact. We check in every once in a while. I mean, he busy in the NBA as well, so. We busy over here, so in the time difference and stuff. But yeah,
well,
for sure.
Did he ask you about some advice, knowing that you're from Dallas? Did you give him some tips on how to live?
Well, I mean, I didn't have to give him tips. I mean, he played in the NBA for years before, so he know the city real well and stuff like that. He knew how to find his way around. But for sure, like when I get back in the summer, we'll definitely connect or whatever.
Yes. Okay, so you played for high school, I suppose, in Dallas, basketball.
Oh yeah. I went to so.
Where did you start like playing that you knew that you will become a basketball player?
I'll probably say like maybe like the beginning of high school. I would play football and basketball, and then I had to choose because I couldn't play both because I didn't have like the money to be able to stay with like both sports. So like as I had like a big growth spurt when I turned 14, and then I chose all my friends in my neighborhood and stuff like that. We had a guy that was from like the neighborhood that I'm from, Quincy AC, and he was doing really good things with it. And so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna choose basketball. Let me see where I could go with it. And you know, it's taking me on the journey that it's taking me on, you know, across the world, and I'm just blessed at the end of the day. So.
Yes. Okay, but before that, you went to college. You first went to South Florida, right?
The
first 2 years.
Yeah. So I went to Skyline High School, and then. My last year of high school, I transferred to a different school. Then I went to South Florida for 2 years. And then after South Florida, I went to Virginia Tech. So. And
there you let's say, exploded in a positive way. You had some great averages, took the team to the conference finals. It's a big deal. I know how people here don't know how popular college basketball is, and the fans are even maybe more attracted to it and more enthusiastic than the NBA. I'm talking about the atmosphere in these games. So this was a big success for you and Virginia Tech at that time.
Yeah. It was big. I mean, when I got to Virginia Tech, I mean, it's not like a big like program or nothing like that for basketball. The last guy that brought Virginia Tech to like prominence was Malcolm Delaney. So. You know, we just got there. We tried to take it day by day. My coach, Buzz Williams, he helped me a lot. He helped me in my progression. I mean, he's a tough coach, and he helped me with my mentality and my approach to the game as well. Coming from where I come from in Dallas, to be able to use that in the right ways to help my team win. Like, so he helped me be able to hone that, and we were able to take Virginia Tech to new heights, to heights that hadn't been reached in years, you know, like decades. So it was good to be able to get that experience, and then to be able to take that in a career. You know that you can do things that when people like count you as an underdog, you know you have a possibility, you know, when you have that experience with you. I keep that with me everywhere, so it helps for sure.
Okay, and you finished college then, and how's you were not drafted, or you of course had a big wish to play in the NBA, but how did your career go, if you can explain it with your words? And how did you finish playing out of the States?
Yeah. So I went to this thing at the college called like Portsmouth. It was like a camp, like an NBA camp. I went and I played real good there, and then I had some NBA pre-draft workouts, and I didn't get drafted, so I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Like, what do I do? And so like I kept getting these calls from these European numbers, but I didn't know what it was, so I wasn't answering. I was just like, all right, like, why these weird numbers keep calling me? Like, I'm trying to wait to see like summer league. I didn't know what was to happen. And then the guy I was working with at the time was like, man, this coach from Israel, he really, really want to work with you. He been calling me all summer for like 3 months. He ain't try to get no other players. He be trying to work with you. So I was like, why he want to work with me? Like, I'm trying to get to summer league or do something. And then I decided to take on the opportunity. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just go to Israel.
So you could have waited for the summer league for NBA league.
Yeah. I waited for that, and then I did not play in summer league. So then I was like, okay, like I was working for this the whole time, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity. I'm gonna go to Israel. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna grow my game, grow my mind, and just see where it takes me. You know, and so that's why I took my journey to Israel.
So that's where you started your international career. Yes. And then one of the things that people emphasize when they talk about you, especially coaches, is that you're constant. You have stability. Like your averages are always good with points, with rebounds, and you improved always. That's what coaches like. And it was interesting for me that you said in some of the interviews I saw before this show that you always wanted to play fast basketball, and then the coaches actually slowed you a little bit and said, wait, it's not just in running, you have to think, you have to understand the game better. So we'll talk about all these coaches, but after Israel you went to Greece, right? You played the final in Israel, the finals of the playoff with a team which is not one of the best teams. It's not Maccabi, it was Hapoel, right?
Yeah. So when we went to when I was in Israel, we beat Maccabi 2 times, and that was a big thing for our team. You know, the guys that we had, they had never had that experience. You know, and like I said, you just keep that underdog mentality. I just kept that with me, and we had a good group of guys that was hungry, that wanted to get better and wanted more for themselves, and it was good character, and so we just went all the way to the end, you know, and we did all we could with the group. And then I went to America again. I was like, well, let's see what happened with Summer League again. And then I went to Atlanta. I played 1 game, and David Black called me. So he was like, I think this is a real big opportunity for you. This is not a known thing that, you know, I call players so young, but he said, I feel that you're ready. I feel that you're hungry and that you want to get better and that you're hungry to improve every day and that you're going to learn and that you're going to learn a lot from these guys that you're playing with and that it's going to be a good experience for you. And so I really thought it through. And then I just left Summer League. I left, and then I went.
So you left the Summer League.
I played 1 game, and then I left. And I went and I signed with Greece. I signed with Olympiacos. So that was a big experience as well.
What convinced you to come?
Well, yeah. We spoke on the phone, and then when I spoke to my family and when I was thinking through, obviously I was at Summer League, so I'm like, man, I'm young enough. I'm just gonna go and get this big opportunity with these big players and really learn from them and continue to grow my game and my mind. So
you were always on the verge of entering the NBA, but someone gave you a call that convinced you to go the other way.
I mean, I was young, so, you know, it was my second year. I was going into my second year of my career. So I was like, okay, like, I want to go and get this experience for myself.
How was it in Olympiacos?
It was a good experience for me. I was around legendary players with big pedigree, with big character, and I seen how they react in big moments and big atmospheres and different things like that. We were young, and we had a lot of situations going on within the club at the time. But at the end of the day, I took that as a big experience for myself, and I'm just grateful to have had that opportunity to go there so young and to be able to get that is big. So
okay, important experience, and your game grew. Then you left again and went to Žalgiris. So
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the. Did you again try with the summer camp, or you just went directly to the?
No. I just went to Žalgiris. I went and I got the experience with Sars. He helped me a lot. He helped me like see the game through, like the European game through, like learn like valuable things within the European game that like I take with me everywhere that are automatic like concepts in the game to be able to see certain things, certain reads. And it helped me grow like my mind, rather as in, like you say, just playing fast and not thinking and just understanding time, score, all different things like that, you know, situations and different things. So.
And again, a new experience with, we're going fast forward through your basketball history. I mean, it deserves more time, but we don't have that much time in this show, and you also have to hurry for your practice.
Yeah.
So it was Olimpia Milano, also interesting, one of the legendary coaches, Messina, and it was something that added something new to your career.
For sure. I mean, he was in his second year back from the NBA, I think. So he had his experience over there. He's coming back to Europe, coming back to Italy, which is another great brand of basketball, Italian style. The Italian league is fast, up and down, so something that I like to do, play fast. And then we had a really great group of guys, you know, guys that played at the highest level, you know, that all had different experiences in different places playing and winning at the highest level. And then we had the young guys, which were me, Siobhan, and KP, that came in, and we was hungry and we want to prove ourselves and we want to get to where they was going. And so it was big to be able to mix, you know, in a career you get to be able to mix a great group of guys like that with great character and that want to play to win, you know, is really big, you know. So we were able to win almost everything in that season. And that was really, really big for my experience. And
you came to the Final Four that season.
Yes, yeah. The first Final Four, I think, in like 30 years for Milan or something like that. So it was a really good experience, like, for all of us. I mean, we came there early because of COVID. There was really strict rules in Italy, so we came there in like middle of July. And we stayed, our last game, I think, was like June 23rd or something like that. So basically a whole calendar year. We was all together every day during COVID, and everybody know how hard COVID was. So we grew
especially in that parts of Europe.
Exactly,
in Italy,
exactly. So we grew really close as a group, and I learned a lot from the older guys on the team, and just from all my teammates and coaches in general from there. And then after that, come here. So.
Yeah, well, that was interesting. So you're coming from Olimpia Milano, playing the Final Four. And then you come to Partizan was then playing Euro Cup, right? They were not playing EuroLeague. I mean, an interesting choice, or?
Yeah, I think when I came, I think Partizan was like almost like relegated or something like that. Like out the ABA, it was like second to like last. I don't know. I don't want to be like specific, but it was a low point in time for the club. And coach came, and he signed KP, and then myself, and so that was a big moment, you know, for us to be able to start something new, you know, and start something from the ground up to be able to build.
Did you know anything about Partizan before you came? The history of the club, I mean, the legendary players. It has a special cult status in European basketball.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I knew was that one of my good friends, Nigel Williams-Goss, had played for Partizan before. I knew nothing about Serbia basketball. I knew nothing about the club. I knew that Serbia had great players, but I never knew about the pedigree of like the basketball history and different things like that. But whenever I go to a new place, I make it like my main thing to be able to like learn the history and to be able to like get into the culture and different things like that. That's part of like becoming like a professional. You know, you adjust to the culture that you in, and you learn about it, and you get to ingratiate yourself into it. That's how you become one with your teammates and the ones with the people that you go to war with on the floor. You know, so I just take pride in that.
Well, these are some of the benefits of a professional basketball player, having the opportunity and possibility to live in various countries, to learn about culture, about various things, history. So I probably have a lot of friends that you were raised with in Dallas that maybe never moved from there. So it's something that, did this change you as a person, understanding all this?
No, for sure. I mean, it's funny because the environments that I play in Serbia, they very similar to the environments I grew up in Dallas, you know, like with the big atmospheres, with the rowdy people and different things like that. So, I mean, there's a similarity within that regard. So
so you can compare Dallas and Belgrade, let's say.
Well, I would say the inner city of Dallas, you know, because I grew up in the inner city of Dallas. Not the outer city is kind of different, you know what I'm saying?
But of course, like every big city.
Yeah, like an inner city, you know, like it's definitely some similarities within the basketball atmospheres, you know, and growing up in the inner city, you know, with the challenges that you have, like, you know, just trying to make it day by day, learning, trying to grow, and just be hungry to better yourself to get from the circumstances that you in. You know, you take that with you and you keep that hunger with you, and you take that as a professional and try to just bring that every day and just prove yourself and just try to be the best that you can be. So.
Well, yeah, we also have this process of all European players trying to get to the NBA. You had the contrary kind of experience, but you were also, let's say, maybe blessed or lucky to practically work with maybe top 4 European coaches, with Blatt, with Jaskevicius, with Messina, and then with Željko Obradović. It's really a rare experience to have all of these players, coaches, excuse me, year after year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, everybody's like, man, why all the big crazy coaches want to call you and want you to play for them? I'm like, man, I don't know.
What is it that they see in you?
I'm like, man, I don't know. You know, I just try to just go out and just fight for my guys and fight for my team, and I just try to put my body, my mind, everything on the line for my team to win. And I just try to just give my all and just dedicate myself to the game and just do what I can to just try to just give my all to win, you know. So I guess that's why. I don't know.
Well, you're all individuals, but of course basketball is a collective sport. So that's maybe the biggest, the toughest thing for a coach, to all these individual qualities use for the benefit of the collective.
For sure, for sure.
Of the group.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, we are individuals and we have to all come together, you know, for a collective, you know, goal, you know. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, no one person can win a game, you know, not 2 people can win the game. It's going to take all the people to come together, to put their mind, their body, their soul, you know, their spirit, of their fighting spirit, you know, and to be able to come together and have the right characters and the right people for the right common goals is really big. So
let's go back to all these coaches. As players are different, coaches are different also. Can you specifically say about each of these four big names we mentioned? What is it that makes them different and so big in the world of coaching?
For me, like, I didn't get to experience David Blatt that much, you know, because it was the last year before he stopped coaching. So, but when I was there with him, I was just really just being a sponge around, like, just the people, you know, learning every day, you know, to be able to play with Prentices, you know, as a big man, you know, you take little things from him that he does as a 4, you know what I'm saying? Spanulis, you know, like, obviously he's a champion. He a legend, you know, and you see his will, you see his character, you see how he gets up for games, what games mean to him specifically, you know, and just all the guys from that team. And then Saris was a legendary player, you know, he's turning into a legendary coach. You know, he's very smart, he knows the game very well. And so I just took, like, little tactical things. He's a great defensive coach, you know, so little tactical things that day by day that we would do, that he drills in you, you know, you take that with you whenever you go to another place. It's different, you know, so you take that with you. And then Messina, he was coming from the NBA. I mean, he's won a lot as a coach. So to be able to blend those two together, you know, that's not very common that a big European coach goes to the NBA, you know. So, you know, you take that experience and you see, like, okay, this is what he taking from the NBA. This is what he keeping for himself, like, that he always had with him. And then Coach Obradović, you know, he's just a great tacticianary coach. You know, he's very fiery, very long-winded, just has a lot of will. And so, you know, you just take things and to be able to learn and to be able to go. And I'm just grateful to be able to have the experience that I had, you know, so far, you know, to be able to play for these guys and learn from them and work with them every day. So.
Yes, I also had the pleasure of watching one of your practices with Obradović some 2 months ago. And what fascinated me is what you mentioned, his will. I mean, someone who won 9 EuroLeagues, had so much success as a player, as a coach. It's like it's his first practice in life. He's so dedicated. He's so fire, as you say, even in practice. And but that's the only way you can succeed and be the best in this job.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's different, you know, and everybody has their different qualities. Everybody has their pros, you know, the things that they do that help them, you know, to be able to get the best out of what they can get, you know, to help a team. And so that's part of what he is he has a fiery personality, a fiery style. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just differences with everybody and how they coaching to be able to get the best, you know. So that's what he does. That's who he is. Even when he stopped coaching, like that's who he gonna always be. He always gonna be a fiery person, you know, and have fire in his you know spirit. So it's gonna be good.
Yes, and I had an opportunity to talk with some of your teammates, with Andjušić, and he told me when we spoke about you that you are also like Coach Obradović, that there's no difference when you're playing in practice and in an official game, that you're tough always. That's maybe why the coaches like you.
Yeah.
It's not that you spare yourself during practice.
Nah. I mean, I can spare myself when I'm done, you know, so I just approach every day the same, you know. I just try to be consistent in everything that I do, you know, as a you know, a brother, a son, cousin, everything. You know, I just player, whatever I do, I just try to be consistent. You know, that's how I was raised, you know, by the people that helped raise me, you know. So I just try to just do that, just be consistently in what I am and not be up and down and not be wishy-washy. And, you know, some days you have a bad day, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's therapy for me to come and to be able to play basketball. It's definitely a blessing as a job, you know. I mean, I look at the people that I've grown up with and my family and different things like that. It's a blessing to be able to have this as a job. So I just try to just make the most of it, make the most of every moment, and just squeeze the life out of every moment. You know?
It's important that you're aware of this fact. Yeah, yes.
For sure. And I have people around me that keep me aware, you know, that it's truly a blessing. You know, I get reminders, you know, daily, you know, by family members or by people that are friends, you know, I grew up with. Like, man, I easily could have been in another direction, you know, in the wrong direction. But at the end of the day, God blessed me to be able to have this.
How was your neighborhood? Was it tough when you were a kid?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a tough neighborhood, tough environment, you know, but at the end of the day, like.
I mean, we watch movies and everything, but this was real life for you.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like, you know, everybody have their challenges, you know, pros and cons. Even people that grew up in nice neighborhoods have, I guess, their challenges. I don't know, you know, but like at the end of the day, like, you know, you just be grateful for who you are, where you're from, your background, your foundation as a person, you know, and you just bring that and just be consistent, you know, and just stay solid and just keep going and working to be the best version of yourself, you know.
Do you have contact with your friends from old days in Dallas?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I went to a lot of schools, so I mean, I went to 2-3 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 2 high schools, 2 colleges. So like, that's a lot of people, you know, so I know people from all walks of life.
Do they like follow you, your career? Do they know what you do?
Yeah. I mean, I know people from a lot of walks of life, you know, that I come across. And I mean, I guess that's helped my ability to be able to adapt in Europe, you know, to be able to meet a lot of new people, to have new teammates, to be able to adjust, you know, so I'm just grateful.
Do you
for
have
that.
maybe some more intimate friends that come and visit you here or wherever you played?
Yeah, for sure. I have some friends that I grew up with around my neighborhood, and I have cousins, you know, that come and visit me as well. You know, I have a lot of people that come and visit me, so it's good to be able to have them to see this experience. You know, because being from Dallas, you know, we never thought we would even come to Europe. I didn't even know what Europe was until.
How do you explain to them where you're living and playing? And
I mean,
what do you say? What is your like first sentence that comes to mind?
I mean, I don't really gotta
when they ask you.
I don't gotta explain it with social media, you know, with like YouTube and stuff like that. They see like they like, wow, like that's crazy, you know, like they like, man, I got to go to the game. I got to come visit. You know, I got to come see for myself. And it's good that they're going to be able to get that, to be able to come out here, to be able to envision that, you know, to get on a plane and to be able to see the world it's definitely a blessing, when you think about your foundation of where you come from. So.
Yes. Well, here this is your second year in Partizan.
This is my third year.
Third year. Yeah, third year. But I mean, you're a professional, and of course, you play where they give you the best conditions in every sense, the team, the material stuff, and everything. Yeah. But here, I mean, that's at least it looks like that it's a bit more to you than just playing as a pro for some ordinary club or team. That you are more connected, it seems, to the club, to the fans, to all this atmosphere you mentioned in the previous answer. Or am I right, or maybe not?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, you be professional. You at the end of the day, and you have to remember you're professional, and you go out there and you do what you got to do for your teammates and for the people that you come to work with every day and that you spend the long hours with and things like that. But just being fiery and being that's just my personality. I can't control it. When I play basketball, I play with emotion. I play with my passion. I play with my all, So
this is the right atmosphere for you then?
Yeah. I would play like
you
this.
Get the reaction.
If I was playing in the street, if I was playing at this park outside, I would play the exact same way, So it's just how I play. It's just who I am as a person.
Well, that's what the fans see. You cannot trick them.
Yeah. You can't. It's not a facade. You can't lie. You can't make That's what we talk about consistency. Being who you are every day, coming in, doing what you got to do. Even the days that you don't want to do it, you just come in and just try to just be solid, be who you are, and then you're going to get better from that day as well.
Yes, a lot of big champions were guests of this show, so we always tend to say that sports is somehow a place where everything is so fair. You see everything. You cannot trick the fans, as we said. It's and it's something that cannot be manipulated. When a fan sees you how you play the game, he either applauds or boos or whatever. But that's okay. I mean, it's a fair place compared to some other politics or some other stuff where you can manipulate in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like we talk about, you're just professional. You go out there, you do your job, you handle your business, and at the end of the day, it's a blessing to be able to play this sport and to be able to do it at the level that we're doing it at. So I'm just grateful at the end of the day.
So this experience in Partizan is something that is special to you?
For sure. I mean, it's my third year here, so, it's different when you stay in a place for a long time rather than you keep on moving all the time. So I'm definitely grateful for the experience that I've had here and the people that I've been able to work with and the things I've been able to learn along my journey. So.
Yes, as a professional, when you play in a foreign country, you always have domestic players, but it seems like that in Partizan this is erased, that you're all players of Partizan, that there's no divisions, like these are well-paid professionals, domestic players. That it was funny for me, Uroš Trifunović, he was a guest of this show. Once he told me that a lot of times you give them advice, not you personally, but the foreigners like KP, and others, which places are good in the town, where to go. Like you're domestic players, not him. So it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for them. When we came to be teammates with them, I think they were 20, 21, and now they're getting to be 24, so it's they get in, it's different things. You like different things as you grow and you mature into yourself, into going down that road. So, and me in general, I just know a lot of different things. I know how to ingratiate myself in the culture pretty well. So I've been able to go places and see a lot of things, especially here in Belgrade in these past 3 years. So I'm just grateful for that.
What are the places you like to visit and see in Belgrade?
I can't really think of a specific place. I mean, I'm so random. I could be anywhere. Anywhere in the town, and you would never even know. But I just kind of just pop up randomly, especially I have my family here or something like that. So it's good.
Your family is with you here?
Yeah, they come and visit me a lot, so it's good. It's good, yeah.
So you're also a touristic guide sometimes for them and your friends.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to be able to see whenever you get a day, and it's a nice day outside, to be able to go for a lunch or something like that. It's real good.
Well, I suppose people recognize you on the streets. It's
yeah, it's definitely there for sure. You're definitely right about that.
And okay, you know that the city is divided between Partizan and Red Star fans. You meet both fans, I suppose. How is your experience with the Red Star fans?
I mean, I don't really have. I mean, I can't really think of like just like in general, but I mean, like in general, serving people, good people. You know, the good people. They work hard, and you know they go to work and they do what they got to do for themselves, for their families. So at the end of the day, like I'm in the culture, and I'm just grateful to be able to have my experience and to be able to grow across where I've been. You know,
okay, but
all over
you
Europe.
feel comfortable of moving around everywhere in the sand.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just go and I just like I said. I mean, you go. It's a nice day. You go have a lunch or something like that. You know, that's what you do.
But
so.
can you have a peaceful lunch or people approach you for getting
I mean,
photos?
It just depends on where you go. You know, you have to know where to go. So
somewhere they're discreet, somewhere not. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It's also talking about your game. You give all that you have in practice in playing games. In this season, they've been accusing you of being tough in some games that you made tough fouls and stuff like that. But I was when talking with Andjušić, we spoke about the fight with Real Madrid last year. That you were one of the guys that was not in the fight. So on the other hand, they accused you of being tough in the game, and when it was tough, you were not there.
No. Yeah, that was a crazy situation. Yeah. You know, it was a crazy moment. You know. At the end of the day,
I mean, you were there, but try to
yeah.
Make peace,
at the end of the day, that was a big moment for us, you know, and unfortunate situation. I mean, we missed the Final Four because of that, you know. So it's just tragic, you know, when you look at it at the end of the day, you know. And we had gotten a lot of situations like that last season. I had gotten into some situations like that as well last season. So, you know, you just look at that, you try to learn from it, you know, at the end of the day. So.
Well, that's definitely a legendary series. Unfortunately, you said you lost. Do you think about it sometimes? It was really very specific. First 2 games, beating Real Madrid really in a fantastic game, maybe the best you guys played last season. Then coming back to Belgrade after this fight, KP was not playing, Lesor was not playing, Dante couldn't play because he was injured. And then this tragedy in Belgrade that happened the day after with this tragic, more than a tragedy in the elementary school. So it was really something that we'll remember. Like it shows you, like what is life. You have like ups and downs that can turn in 1 minute. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's just unfortunate to not, you know, be able to have two of the best players, you know, that you play with, you know, when you don't have like a long rotation. So. You know, we had like a short, probably like 7 or 8 guys that played a lot of minutes, and you know, when you take 2 or 3 guys out of that rotation, that changes your team a whole lot. You know, Madrid has 15 guys that can play. You know, so it's different. You know, so that changed our game a whole lot. And obviously, I mean, we're coming back home in Belgrade. We have a huge home atmosphere, and we weren't able to make the most of that because we didn't have those guys, so it's just unfortunate, you know, at the end of the day.
Okay, well, that's history now. What can you say about this season? It's a tough season, also ups and downs, but maybe the expectations of the fans because of the previous seasons were higher, but you're still there, trying to do the best.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of ups and downs. You know, we just come into work every day, you know. You have a lot of new guys that have not had this experience before. So, you know, we just trying to just grow together as a group, you know, and make the most of the situation, make the most of the people that we have here, you know, and make the most of the time, you know, because you can't get this time back. So you gotta just do what you can and make the most of it while you can and just keep going forward. So.
Yes, well, as you say, you always have new players coming. This is your 3rd year here, so we treat you as a domestic player. and probably you and KP are the ones that help, like people like Kaminsky and PJ, to give them advices how to adapt to the game, to the city, to everything. Yeah. Are you good teachers?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we try to do the best that we can. You know, at the end of the day, everybody professional, and they had their experience in the NBA. You know, and it's now EuroLeague, so it's different experience for them. Even if you had the highest experience in the NBA, coming in and adjusting to the EuroLeague, the ABA, to being in Europe for the first time is always a new experience, you know, and you like a fish out of water, and it takes time to adjust. So at the end of the day, we just try to help everybody, you know, be the best version of themselves, you know, and just make the most of the moments that we have.
And what do you think about the EuroLeague? It seems that it's also in some sort of expansion, and a lot of quality players are coming also from the States now, NBA players that joined it this season, and it seems it's getting better and better. Tougher and tougher.
Yeah, every year it's getting tougher. The style of game is growing. You know, guys are scoring more points. It's becoming faster. You know, teams are playing faster, putting up more shots. You know, more quality of play, and there's less like slow down physicality style. It's up and down. You know, you see the best teams, they going up and down, up and down. They got guys going up and down, and so you see that. And the game itself is growing around the world. So it's just a beautiful thing to see the game grow. Because I remember when I first got in EuroLeague, I mean, you would rarely see a team score 100 points, but now you have teams going to 3-4 overtime, scoring 120, you know, and you look at a round, it's probably going to be two teams score 100 points at least, you know. So, like, it's just becoming a different game. It's growing, and it's good that the game is growing because, you know, at the end of the day, it's always great to have growth, you know, and expansion of the game.
Yes, you say the game is growing. We also have this phenomenon that so many European players, especially from these territories, are a big factor in the NBA. Is it something that surprises you? Like Jokic, Doncic, and
yeah, I mean, like I said, before I came to Serbia, I didn't know anything about the pedigree. I didn't know about the tradition. But as I come here and then I see, I see how players like Doncic and Jokic, you know, and Bogdanovic and guys like that are succeeding in the NBA, the way that they learn the game, the way that they see the game, and to be able to affect their experience coming to the States, you know, to be able to have the wisdom and like stuff that they have to bring that will make up rather as in like a lack of athleticism or something like that. You know, their athleticism is just different. It's not a lack, it's just a different type, you know, that makes them successful.
Yeah. Yes, well, I don't know, did you have an opportunity to see the World Cup where Serbia won the silver medal this summer in September?
I didn't get to watch a lot of it. You know, when I was in preseason, like I tried to like catch like games here and there when I was in between, like resting from practice. But yeah, it's good. I'm glad that Serbia was able to have success, you know, and it's good for the culture. And it's good for the people because they're having a lot of success in basketball right now, as well as players, you know what I mean, going to the NBA, having success. So it's good for them to have success as a country, to have success in the World Cup.
Well, Olympics will be interesting. I know how important it is for the United States. They always send the best team there, not to the World Cup, but so we'll have all these NBA stars. Probably Jokic will be playing for Serbia, so we'll have an interesting summer. And you'll be resting, but you'll get a peek on the TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna be excited to watch it from home for sure.
Yes. But you also play for national team of Azerbaijan now. It's you made a debut, a successful debut. I mean, your game was good, but how did it come? How did you come to this idea? They invited you.
Yeah, I mean, my agent called me in the summer and he said, Azerbaijan, they like you, you know, they see an opportunity like of this to happen. And so I said, man, I love basketball. Like, okay, that's cool. Like, I love basketball, so most definitely I'll look at it. And then we were able to go over there and see Baku and get into the culture, to be able to see around like the city and to learn some stuff about the people. So it's definitely a blessing. Like I said, like I come from East Dallas, so it's just
one more city and country.
Yeah, like it's just all of this is just a blessing. It's just a part of my journey to be able to go and to be able to play in that game, to be able to play a national team game, and to be able to see the difference in between qualities of basketball is just different. You know, it's a blessing. It's something I'll be able to take with me and be able to have with me forever, for sure.
Yeah. That's all really interesting. And what can we expect from you the next year? Do you know about your plans? Changing so many countries and everything, Partizan fans would also of course, like to see you here one more year.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just grateful and blessed for all the opportunities that I've had to be able to travel and, you know, see the world and to be able to play in all these countries, to be able to play in Belgrade. So I'm just grateful for all the experiences that I've had, and I'm just grateful to make the most of it and coming to this time to make the most of these times that we have ahead of us, you know. So I'm just grateful for that and grateful for everything.
So, but we'll wait for your future. You have to decide yet at the end of the season, right?
I mean, we had to go and we had to finish.
Okay.
We have a big stretch of games. So I'm just grateful for, you know, everything and everybody, and grateful that coach brought me here, you know, and grateful for all my teammates and different things like that. And I'm just grateful to be a part of this. You know?
Who is the most funny guy among players? Who makes most of the jokes in Partizan?
Oh, man, that's hard to say. That's hard to say. I can't really think off the top of my head right now. I think, oh, man. In general, I think PJ's pretty funny, but I mean, we American though, so we can understand each other from a different perspective. You know, he don't say like that much around like a lot of people, but he pretty funny to me. It just depends like on the day. It like varies within the days, you know. So
I know I heard Balša Koprivica likes to imitate people and players.
Oh man, he's hilarious. I just thought about that. He's actually probably the funniest. Now I think about it. He's hilarious. He is hilarious. Because, I mean, he has his experiences from going to America and, like, coming in America and then being here back and forth.
So he can connect between all of you.
He connects.
He's like the connection point.
Exactly. His humor connects, like, from everybody. So it's really funny. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I saw you also some weeks ago. You also went to a soccer match. It was.
Yeah.
It was also something that we can put on the list of your experiences living in Europe. Are you attracted by soccer, or do you understand it?
I don't understand a whole lot of it. I went to one match when I was in Olympiacos, but that was years ago, so I wasn't even paying attention like that, and I had people with me.
But you celebrated the goal.
Yeah. I just understand like the goal part, and you know, I understand like that the defense, and you know, like the physicality to be able to like go, and like I'm starting to understand like the yellow card, red card, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, like, dang, okay, this is what this guy does. Okay, this is what this guy does. Like, you know, you have your guys that's kind of like a Beckham, that's kind of like a finisher. You know, so I know I'm just understanding more nuances throughout the game. You know, seeing like little documentaries on soccer players and stuff like that on Netflix. Yes,
and every player especially, you have some of your ways of preparing for the game and everything. What is it with the heater you're bringing always on the games?
Man, you know.
Is it cold? Or?
It was actually really freezing. It was freezing, and I don't know if the heat was broke. I don't know if anything, but I was cold, so I just brought a heater. You know, it's nothing. It's just simple, you know. I don't.
Okay, so there's nothing mysterious about that.
Nothing. I was cold, so I brought a heater. You know.
Very.
The questions are complicated, but the answers are simple.
Simple. You know, the simple answer.
Exactly.
Okay.
So.
Yes, because some of the players told me that you're also sometimes when you win, you do everything you did before. That you're like a superstitious a little bit. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, I feel like everybody is naturally like when you have like a good experience or a good moment, you try to follow like, okay, this is what I did to prepare, you know, to like stay in that moment. You know what I mean? Like to make the most out of it. Like, okay, like I'm gonna do these same things. So, I guess I would say a little bit, you know.
So if you win the next game, you'll have to come to the studio again.
Hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Okay, Zek, I know that you have to practice, to work, to rest, to travel. So many things in this season. It's really a tough season. Yeah. So I want to thank you for your time. We could talk for an hour more, but this is enough for the first time. We can do something new at the end of the season. So I have some presents for you, since this is your first time in a Serbian TV show. This is from some guys. Instagram nalog mora se trenira. This is a scene from Rocky. I don't know if this is big enough for you. It's XXXXL. So anyway, this is a present for them. I'll say it in Serbian. Ovo su momci koji imaju Instagram nalog, mora se trenira i zapratite ih, a Zek je dobio na poklonu majicu. Also, we have a habit of giving gifts, books. They are in Serbian. You cannot read them, but you can take 2 of them and give them as a present to someone.
Yeah.
To maybe Anjušić. I don't know, do they read at all?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they do, but they might be faking. You never know. So, but hey, I don't know. Yeah, for sure, most definitely, I'll give them.
You know the legendary coach of Partizan, Dule Vujošević. You heard of him?
Yes, yeah.
He had this also. He gave books to players, and they had to read them, like to them to. That was one of the things they had to do while he was a coach.
Man, oh man, what a time!
Okay, Zek, thanks once more. We wish you a lot of luck to you and to your club, and hope to see you sometime once more. If you win the next game.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a blessing to be here. I'm just grateful to be able to come and bless the studio, so I'm just grateful. Thank you.
Thank you once more. Dragi gledalci, hvala i vama na pažnji. Bio je ovo Sportlight i Zek Ledej. Vidimo se ponovo sledeće nedelje. Prijatno i doviđenja.